piece, we told you how dozens of speed cameras could disappear from our region's roads. The coalition government is making cuts to road safety schemes, like speed cameras, saying it's delivering its pledge to end the war on motorists.
The cuts are already having an effect in some places, with cameras about to be switched off in parts of Wiltshire and in Oxfordshire. We asked for your comments. Jenny Kirk has been going through what you had to say.
Thanks very much indeed. And it's that government quote that we're going to start off with, as it prompted John Thompson to email in. The statement is ridiculous. It has not been a war on motorists, according to him, but a war on speeding. There is a difference, he says. Some of you had very strong views against the cameras, like Helen from Norfolk, who sums it up with a get rid ASAP. Sean Ismay agrees, saying they are a cash cow to bleed the motorist. I will be glad to see them go, he says, and be replaced by sensible signage. Doug from Holland-on-Sea claims there's a speed camera near him which, since its introduction, has actually caused an increase in both accidents and fatalities. Ron Aitken in Chelmsford also wants to get rid of the cameras and replace them with more police traffic cars to improve driving standards and stop people talking on their mobiles. However, there were voices in favour as well, like Rajvinder Kaur, who emailed us to say that he thinks they are a good idea, but he wants no fines, just points on a licence. And Robert from Cambridge also wants to keep them, saying speeding is illegal, period. The cameras do not discriminate. Speeding equals fine. What could be fairer and more efficient than that? And an alternative approach was sent in by Mr Simpkins of Eaton Bray. He told us of a system they use in Portugal where, if you drive too fast, road signs warn you to slow down. If you don't, further along the road, a traffic light turns red and makes you wait. The message soon gets appreciated, he says. As ever, thank you for all of your emails. If you do want to get in touch with us, you can email look.east@bbc.co.uk or phone us on 08457 630 630.
Thank you very much indeed. And as always, some very interesting thoughts. Yeah. Now, football and club managers in particular. Brian Clough was 30 when he started out as a manager. Sir Alex Ferguson was 32 and Arsene Wenger was 35.
But the new MK Dons boss, Karl Robinson, is just 29, making him the youngest boss in the Football League. Jonathan Park is at Stadium MK now. Jonathan.
Yes, well, it's a big pre-season test for MK Dons tonight because Premier League side Birmingham are here tonight, and it's the kind of match that Chairman Pete Winkelman wants to see here on a regular basis. And when you look around the stadium and the infrastructure here, you can see they've got to get really to the Championship pretty soon at the very least. Now, he's put his trust in a rookie manager called Karl Robinson. He's just 29, he's unproven, but he's got bags of enthusiasm.
Wherever Karl Robinson goes, there's a laugh, a joke or a smile. He's that kind of guy. But make no mistake about it, Karl is calculated, focused and in charge.
Once you start talking to him, you realise I don't think he is that age. I mean, because he's got a knowledge of abundance of it, you know, and he surprised me. I think I've been very impressed with him since I've been here.
Today, I'm telling him what time they're in tomorrow. One group will be in for 9:15.
The youngest manager in the Football League is just 29. Some of his players are older, including Didier Hamann, the star turned at MK Dons next season. Karl's coached at Liverpool and Blackburn, where he picked up a key bit of advice from Sam Allardyce. Surround yourself with good people.
The advice now seems to run through. It's amazing how easy my job becomes when you've got some of the best staff in the country working for you. My job becomes a little bit easier because they take so much pressure off you and you've got so much quality and experience.
In came John Gorman, a one-time assistant to England coach Glenn Hoddle. Back came fitness guru Damien Doyle, plus there was a role for existing coach Alex Ray. 2 Scots, an Irishman and a Scouser.
They say Scousers know more about football than most.
Is that what they say? Who said that?
Scousers.
I thought that was going to be a shock. We say a lot of things that we don't mean.
When Paul Ince lost motivation and resigned, Karl was given his big break by a chairman who'd always gone for the big names. But the players were happy for the former assistant to give the orders.
The thing with Karl is he's sort of new and he's new school, if that's what you want to call it, and he's got some great ideas and he wants to get his passion in football and play the game the right way, which is, to be fair, it's a joy to play.
My dream is possibly very similar to the chairman's. I want to see Premier League clubs come here on a regular basis. Where we sit here and now, we just want to get good players and that really make the fans come through the doors.
For someone who stood on Liverpool's Kop as a lad, managing is a dream come true. Some will say he hasn't got the experience to survive in a cutthroat world. But Jose Mourinho and Arsene Wenger were unknowns to start with. Will Karl Robinson get his message across like them?
A lot of talk at the moment in football about coaches, particularly after the shambles that was the World Cup from England's perspective. Now, Karl Robinson holds the UEFA Pro licence, which is the top qualification you can get. I believe he was the first manager as well, or the youngest manager, to get that qualification. Probably one of the reasons why the man next to me here, Pete Winkelman, decided to take the plunge and go for the rookie.
Well, Jonathan, you've met Karl, and I think those people that spend a bit of time with him, he's a great enthusiast, which kind of suits very well the kind of spirit of Milton Keynes DONS. But he's also very organised, and when you look at the team of people that he's put around him, he's dealt with the fact he hasn't got that much experience, having John Gorman there. You know, we've got the Steely Scott in Alex Ray, and of course signing Didi Hamann was a very, very clever move and a brave move from a young manager, because here's a player that's been in World Cup finals, Champion League finals, and he's wearing a Milton Keynes DONS shirt, so I really like that.
Great for the fans to see Didi here next season, but is he too nice? I mean, do nice guys succeed in football?
I think that you have to know when to be hard, and we have a sort of saying at our club is that you're nice, horrible. And I think Karl has that kind of thing about him as well, when he needs to make a decision, when he needs to be tough. And remember, when you're choosing your team, you've got to leave players out, how you explain that to them. Other players that might not even get on the bench and think they should be in the first team. So it is a tough job. You've got big decisions to make. I'm very confident he'll be able to make them.
Well, time will tell, as we always know, Pete, and Pete makes the final decision eventually with that, as far as managers are concerned here. Thanks very much, Pete, and good luck for the season. Just a quick reminder of what's happening tomorrow in Keynes. We'll continue our look ahead to the new football season. We're looking at referees, particularly important, of course, because you can't have a football match without a referee. Tom Williams will be actually meeting a Premier League referee tomorrow, and he'll be put to the test, so that should be interesting. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Jonathan. Nice. Horrible.
We'll come to the weather in a moment.
We love that. I just think that is absolutely
I always
brilliant.
feel better when Pete's been on the programme.
He cheers you up, doesn't he? He puts a smile on your face, Pete Winkelman. Now, since he was a boy, Arthur Windley from Norfolk has been fascinated by carousels and pipe organs and all sorts of fairground attractions. Then one day, he decided he could build his own.
Which is what he did. But now that collection is up for sale. And if you're thinking of buying them, you won't need as much room as you might think.
In a room behind his garage, retired farmer and one-time antique dealer Arthur Windley enters his own secret realm. This is his personal handmade homage to the world of the fairground.
Quite honestly, it can only be the only one in the world just like it, because there can't be another.
It all began 40 years ago when he bought a collection of broken miniature fairground rides.
I decided to have a go at making them go, which I did, and I thought, well, I could make some like that. And so I started making them, and now there's over 30 rides and all this stuff there is. Well, I think the favourite has got to be my set of gallopers, 3 abreast gallopers, because they go up and down and they're lovely, they're nice. But I like them all, I love them all really.
It's not the only collection he's had in his 80-odd years. Just 18 months ago, he sold his collection of tin plate automata, reckoned to be one of the best in the country. Next week, at the same auction house in Aylsham, all this will be sold as one lot, as the owner continues to downsize.
I'd like it to go to a family or a person or a museum where other people will see it more than they do now. Everybody who's seen it has said how lovely it is, because it is nice.
As for the price, well, the auctioneers have put an estimate of between £2,500 and £3,500 on the whole collection. And in case you're wondering what makes it all move, that's down to old gramophone motors. John Cranston, BBC Look East in Norfolk.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
Handsome, eh? Nice, horrible. Do we get that many?
That sounded a bit like my cue, actually. I thought that was very good. Well, it's horrible then tomorrow in that case, because we've got some more rain, but actually that's the thing about the weather. It's not horrible for everybody, just when you think you've got a tag for it. In this case, we've got a weak front moving across the region at the moment. That's this evening. It's very weak indeed, barely a spot of rain. The next system to the west of Ireland is more active, and that is going to come across us tomorrow. It will bring a bit more heavier rain, but only for some parts of the region. So looking at the satellite picture, some clues there show that the cloud on the first front breaking up and fragmenting. Out to the west though, over Ireland, you can see a lot more cloud, and that's what we'll be dealing with tomorrow. So for many of us this evening and overnight, a good deal of cloud, but at times it'll be thin and patchy. Most of the time it'll be dry, but you can see these odd spots of rain developing later in the night as that second system gets closer. And the heavier rain, particularly in the west of the region behind me, I think turning up about first light tomorrow morning. Now, the minimum temperature is 13 to 15 Celsius, so not a cold night. That's the upper 50s Fahrenheit. The wind's quite light as well. As for tomorrow's chart, it does look quite unsettled. We've got fronts on it right over us, really. This one's moving through. Behind it, northwesterly winds will bring somewhat cooler and fresher weather, and I think drier weather for Thursday as well. So after some patchy rain in the morning, it'll turn heavier and more persistent for a time, particularly in the south of the region. It may well be that the more northern counties, Norfolk, Suffolk, Cambridgeshire, escape the heaviest rain, and Northamptonshire as well by the afternoon, just seeing a scattering of showers and some patchy cloud. So rather changeable weather tomorrow, but except for the south of the region, I suspect many places won't get a huge amount of rain. 19 to 21 degrees Celsius for the temperatures tomorrow. That's more or less the average for this time of the year. And although it will be quite warm and humid feeling air to begin with in the morning, it will turn cooler and fresher as these northwesterlies come in to chill things off tomorrow evening. But it will bring us into fine weather for Thursday. There's a ridge of high pressure for us. And then on Friday, the next weather system, also probably fairly weak, will come across on Friday night and first thing Saturday morning before that too moves away. So all in all, it looks changeable. It looks quite unsettled, but this rain is patchy except in the south. On Thursday, mainly dry day. Friday, the rain won't arrive until the evening. And on Saturday, that'll clear away from the east early in the morning to give us a mainly dry day on Sunday. The wind's mostly quite light. Your lowest overnight temperature's 10 degrees Celsius, 50 Fahrenheit.
It will please somebody. Thank you very much.
That's all from us. Have a great evening.
Good night.
Goodbye.